everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I am here to do the Key Eff 2020 book tag. This was created by my friend Izzy at Happy For Now. She is so wonderful. I just love her, and this book tag cracks me up, and I can't wait to do it. So let's just get started. The first question is, share some good stuff that has happened in 2020 and some bad stuff if you want. So my good and bad are very related. Good is I had a baby. She is wonderful. She was born June 12th. Her name is Annie, and we just love her to death, obviously. The bad with that is it's just been so sad not being able to share her, not being able to have a baby shower, so much stuff. Like, I feel like she's going to have second kid syndrome just naturally, but then, like, our family doesn't get to know her as a baby. Like, she's growing and changing so fast, and we're missing out on so many opportunities. And like Christmas this year, I don't know what it'll be like. I know, like, we have only done driveway visits. Nobody's got to hold her. Things are just so different. And like, my dad at one point even asked for a video of just her crying, because he's like, that newborn cry goes so quick, and he doesn't get the opportunity to be around her for very long. And so, like, they'll come hang out in our driveway for half an hour or whatever, but you don't get to really know a kid that way. And so it's really sad. And just all the things, my kids, they're so little and changing so quick that 2020 has really been sad that way. And the hospital stay really bummed me out, because Ainsley, our 2-year-old, could not come up to the hospital to see her. Nobody could. Jeremy, my husband, was the only one that could come. And so then he came here to take care of our 2-year-old. And so it was just me and Annie at the hospital a lot, which was fine. And we were only there 24 hours or so, but still just sad. It's such an exciting time, and to not be able to share that is a big bummer. So, yeah, that, and then just also the craziness of having a 2-year-old and a newborn and not being able to go do anything is not great. So hopefully this stuff gets cleared up soon. Number 2, what book did you love at the beginning of the year? I could not pick one, so I picked 3. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, 11 Other Words by Christina Lauren, and Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry. I read all of those in either January or February, and I loved all 3 so much. They're all second chance romance. No surprise that I loved them. And they're all somewhat similar in that they're emotional second chance romances, but with some lightheartedness, with some very relatable characters. Just love them all so much. Number 3, a book you were looking forward to that ended up not being great. So, again, couldn't pick just one, so I picked 3. I'm going to say Intercepted by Alexa Martin. That main character was #obnoxious. If you have not read the book, it was a good book, I guess, but the hashtags, speaking in hashtags, drove me nuts. Maybe it's because I'm 31 years old and I'm just too old for that. But the speaking in hashtags, like, distracted me so much that I was like, don't let it. Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker. This one I didn't dislike, really. I just was I love Simple Wild, and then Wild at Heart was just such a letdown to me that I just was, like, really disappointed. And then You by Carolyn Kepnes. I've talked about this a couple times. I just did not think it was stressful or suspenseful or creepy. I just thought it was boring. I didn't care for Joe. I had high expectations, and I think that killed me. Next is a book that surprised you this year. So I'm going to say Deepest Roots by Miranda Acevedo. She is a local author. She lives, like, in the same town as me, I think, and she's a local Kansas author, and we got to meet her and got our book signed, and it's a YA kind of supernatural, magical realism, I guess is what I would call it, book about these girls who have different magical powers. And I'm not a sci-fi reader. Magical realism is for me, but I loved this book. I read it when we were in Disney World, and so between, like, reading the magic in the book and then being in Disney World where it's nothing but magic, it just made me so, like, cozy and happy, and I loved it, and I was so surprised. And I really wanted to love it, and so because she's a local author, and I met her, and she's so kind and sweet, and so I'm just shocked that it actually worked out, and I loved it. Number 5, a book you like but nobody else does, or they don't talk about it enough. So again, I'm going to say Renee Carlino. I love her. I've read 3 of her books, I think: Before We Were Strangers, Swear on This Life, and Blind Kiss. Loved them all. And I just don't think enough people talk about her. Of course, Brittany C. Cherry, she is gaining some popularity, but I think she deserves to be like one of the most hyped books or authors on BookTube, and she's not, and I don't know why. And so love her. And then also Catherine Sinner's Backlist. Some of her newer books, like What You Wish For is her newest, Things You Save in a Fire, and How to Walk Away. Those three new ones have kind of been hyped up, but there are great ones in her backlist that I wish people would read more of. And then number 6, a book that you want to come out already this year. Crazy Stupid Romance. Even though I have not read the second in the series yet, I loved Bromance Book Club. And so I want to read the second, and I want the third to come out right now so I can just read the rest of the series. And then One More for Christmas, which is Sarah Morgan's new Christmas book. I love her Christmas book so much, and I cannot wait for another one, which I think the cover was just revealed somewhat recently. And then Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. I have not read any of her books, but I've heard they're very body positive, very great, and I just think Spoiler Alert sounds so good. So can't wait for that one. And then When No One Else Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is her first thriller, and I love thrillers, and can't wait to see how she does it. So very excited for all of those. 7, what book were you looking forward to that got pushed back to 2021? Now, I'm not huge on new releases, and I don't keep up with things a whole lot, except I do have a NetGalley account. So one that I have on there, the publication date has jumped everywhere. It started in August, then went to October, then went to 2021. Now I think it's in December of 2020. I don't really know. But it's Calm the Heck Down, How to Let Go and Lighten Up About Parenting by Melanie Dale. And this one, I just like to read books about parenting, books about running, the things that I love. I love reading nonfiction about them. And I'm pretty chill. It's surprising because I am a very high-strung, anxious, fast-moving person. And yet I'm pretty chill about parenting. But I think this book will help me even more. And my daughter just turned 2.5 2 days ago. And so we've got some toddler issues, like toddler tantrums and that kind of stuff. And it really doesn't rile me that much, except when it's the end of the day, the baby's crying, she's deciding to cry and act like a baby, and then it kind of does, I guess, and just how to maintain perspective as parenting gets harder, because I know it will. And then 8, which is the last question. Finally, what book will you think of when you think of 2020? And I think it's going to be Love in Other Words, because this is my first Christina Lauren book, and they are so hyped on BookTube. I never knew really what the hype was. I picked up Love in Other Words, and it just was so perfect. I really loved it. It is a book about 2 people who meet as kids and bond over books, and then they meet again later in life, and it's their second chance romance, and I just loved it so very much, and I loved the characters. I loved everything about it, and so I think it'll probably be that one, and I don't know. Hopefully, I will remember the good in this year and not the craziness. But it's kind of hard to. My daughter, Annie, our second daughter, her baby book, we kept the masks that we had to wear. And, I luckily vlogged during it, so I'll link that somewhere. And so we've got that memory. And it's just a weird time to have a baby, weird time to be living. And so, yeah, I was seeing something about New Year's, I don't know if it was a book or a movie or something that was talking about New Year's Eve. And I was thinking back to, this New Year's Eve and just every New Year's Eve, how you think the year's going to be so great. And, you have these expectations for the year. And then COVID happens and just blows up every expectation, and it makes me nervous for even this New Year's Eve, or really even expectations for anything, because it's just all been shattered and changed in so many ways that this is all such a new, I don't know how to act, and nobody does, and what to think, and it's a crazy thing. So I agree, Izzy, F 2020, let's move on. Love the baby I got out of this year, but the rest of it, we can move on whenever you're ready, world. So that is it. If you have done this tag, link it down below so I can see it. If you don't have a channel, let me know your answers. I will have them written out down below. And that's it. We'll talk to you later. Bye.